Hernan, I have a question. I have noticed that there are people who present many difficulties expressing themselves in English language. What factors do you think are the most relevant when analyzing this phenomenon?
Okay, well, from my point of view, students or learners don't vary just in second language acquisition, but also in first language. In first language acquisition, learners vary in the speediness of acquisition, but in the second one, we have not only the speediness, but also we have the ultimate level of achievement. From the 1970s, there have been many research about that, like the topic why some people are more successful than others at learning a second language. The Handbook of Linguistics, there are some interesting research about all this difference about the learning process of a second language, and they try to identify relationship in the variables of the second language acquisition. This research, they are also concerned about the way of measure, like who can measure what is good or bad. So Wallace suggests that the best way of understanding the comprehension of a person, of a learner, is to sit quietly and chat with a bottle of wine. Providing a short review of the research, they give some factors that are important at the moment of understanding the difference between the learning processes. Like, the first factor will be the ability. It has like intelligence, the language aptitude, and the memory. It's also important to mention the propensities. It involves the learning style, the anxiety, the personality, and the willing to communicate. Also important, the learner's beliefs and the learning styles, which are concepts that we're going to develop later on this video. So much word. But first, a question whether learners with distinct language aptitude profiles can be more successful than others. To answer this question, Miyake and Friedman's study demonstrates that learners with larger working memory are better at taking advantage of the words ordered information because they can hold the information in their minds.
Here's the part when you define the concepts. Remember, learning style?
Learning style. Learning style has two dimensions, cognitive and affective dimension. It refers to the way the learner prefers to interact the information and deal with other people. Also, some researchers have identified learning styles, four learning styles: auditory, kinesthetic, tactile, and visual learning style, and two social learning style, individual and group learning style. Another highly important factor for second language acquisition process is the motivation. Motivation has a more effective dimension than a cognitive one. Now, let's talk about anxiety. Foreign language classroom anxiety constitutes a kind of anxiety. When students are required to use foreign language, it's a threat. It constitutes a threat for learners that is called language ego. Because of this, Horwitz and Cole created the Foreign Language Classroom Anxiety Scale, focused on general foreign language classroom anxiety, emphasized in oral production. Findings have shown that anxiety is negative for second language achievement, and also that it can affect the future learning process. The next factor in our line concepts is personality. Personality is a key factor for second language learning. There are many studies and many variable studies about personality. However, the one who has got the most attention in this is extroversion. Extroversion has shown to have a positive impact in second language development. It is called basic interpersonal skill. Introspective students can also find advantages. They might find easier to study a second language and thereby develop high levels of cognitive academic language proficiency. Learners' cognitions. Students hold beliefs about what language is and how to learn it. Therefore, as a basis of education and training, teachers must be aware of a student's beliefs. Then we have learner's actions. That defines the way and the approach the learner chooses to learn the second language. It is directly influenced by the learner's cognitions, and it's about the way the students understand the best way to learn.
And finally,
about to end. Yeah. So finally we have willingness to communicate. That is the intention to initiate communication given a choice. And actually, and obviously, is pretty important for communicative language learning.
Hernan, thank you so much for your answers.
Thanks for your questions. And teacher, thanks for watching this video. If you like, give us 5.
Or at least a thumbs up.
At least a thumbs up.